Welcome back to another video. Today is August 20th, and we did not take a trade. But I wanted to come on here. Welcome back to another video. Today is August 20th. We did not take a trade today, but I did want to come on here and just do a little bit of a backtest session and talk about where the primetime entry was for today. So, without further ado, market opens. Okay, we have Asia session, which dumps, and then we end up coming back up a little bit. London session sweeps Asia high, and then it consolidates. And New York session opens, and we dump a little bit. We make our first fair value gap, which is on the 1 minute, right here, 9:31. And then we come up, and I'm on ES, by the way, and because ES was probably the trade for today, which is really rare because recently most of the trades that I have been seeing and that I have considered taking have been on NQ. But today, ES had the trade. So we end up consolidating a lot within this first fair value gap, tapping, retapping, tapping, retapping, as you can see right here. And then we end up coming down and we come up and we seek and destroy. Now, primetime entry would have been on the 1 minute, probably just set a limit order at the first fair value gap, but I was still skeptical as to where price wanted to move. I had a feeling we wanted to drop down and seek Asia low. I also wanted to see a sweep. There was another, I think it was New York low, a previous New York low down here. And then on NQ, there was a untapped hourly fair value gap that I wanted to target. I don't have it marked out, but I was another TP if I would have entered was once NQ hits that hourly fair value gap. If I'm close to a draw, I'll consider tightening my stop loss, or if I'm not close to a draw, I would consider just exiting my position once NQ taps that hourly. So, but on the 30-second, the primetime entry would have been on the inverse of this 30-second fair value gap. So we end up tapping the first fair value gap. After this consolidation, we come down, sweep this low, come back up, seek and destroy first fair value gap, make a 30-second fair value gap, inverse it, and then the primetime entry would have been on the inverse. Stop loss, I would have had my stop loss at probably this high right here. I mean, it's not really high, but I would have had it at this fair value gap up here because if we come back up, sweep all this, sweep this high, if we come back and tap this first fair value gap, I would like to see us bull run up and possibly take out London high, or I don't remember if we had Asia high as well. But depending on whether you're on the micros or the minis for this, I would have considered doing partials at Asia low and then holding until this previous day New York low, or holding until NQ taps its hourly fair value gap that was untapped. Honestly, this would have been a decent trade. I didn't end up seeing it in time, and that's why I didn't end up taking it. I know a couple of people that did end up taking a trade today. I know a couple of people that also ended up getting cooked on trades today because they were either long or they had too short of a stop loss, which is a bit of an issue. I do need to lock in on backtesting and actually tuning in my trading entries because I am pretty decent at figuring out where my draws on liquidity are. Like, I could probably mark out the chart and tell you exactly where price wants to go, but that doesn't really help you when you can't find an entry because if you know where price wants to go, you need to know how to enter a trade to get an optimal entry price because if you just knowing where price wants to go doesn't help you get anywhere. Because, like, you could know price wants to seek out this low, right? But if you don't know that price actually wants to, before seeking out this low, we want to sweep all this buy-side liquidity, and we want to come all the way up to, like, I don't know. Before seeking that low, if you don't understand what I'm saying, just knowing where price wants to go doesn't help you because you can't get an entry. Like, let's say, we want to sweep Asia low. Okay. That was a given today in the market. Well, so that's your target. That's your TP. If you don't find an entry, let's say you just enter shorts right here, right? Because you're like, oh, we want to sweep Asia low. Well, then you're going to get cooked all the way up to this high, and you're going to be in a bunch of drawdown before you end up hitting your TP. And if you're risking a bunch of money, well, you're going to end up losing that because the odds of you putting your TP all the way up here when entering all the way down here, that's horrible. You're going to risk so much money for, like, yeah, sure, you might make a lot, but that's just a horrible trade. Now, on the flip side, let's say you know where price wants to go. You know price wants to go to Asia session. Like I did. I knew price wanted to go to Asia session. Well, you scale down. I didn't find this entry in time. So I missed out on the entire move, basically. Or at least Asia session was here. I basically missed out on the entire move because I did not notice this entry in time. So entries, like, you can know where price wants to go, but that doesn't matter because you need to be able to enter at a reasonable time. That's one of the hardest and most important parts of trading is figuring out when to enter because entries are the key to trading. Like, getting draws on liquidity and figuring out how you want to trade is pretty simple. Like, I learned it relatively quickly, and I'm thankful for YouTube for that. There's a bunch of free resources out there that I utilized. But when you're trading and you're looking for entries and you actually start trading with real capital and real risk, and it's like actually, you got to focus on your psychology, you got to focus on your mentality, all of that. Entries are what really matter because even if you get your draw wrong, if you have a really good entry, you should be able to notice before you end up getting cooked. And if you do notice in time, even if you get your draw wrong on entering a trade, but your entry is really good, you still might hit TP depending on how you entered. Or maybe you'll notice that your draw was wrong and you'll just end up changing your order and you might just get out at break even. So entries are one of the most important steps in trading. I cannot stress that enough. And the only way you get better at practicing entries is backtesting. I have not been at backtesting as frequently as I need to be doing, so I am actually going to go backtest right now probably. But that is the key to getting better at trading is backtesting because it helps you practice your strategy, it helps you practice your entries, and it helps you just honestly figure out and lock in on everything all. Because if you're only trading in the mornings, you're only getting one trade in. And sure, you can learn some stuff. You could go over your trade. You could do a little recap on it, and you could learn from the mistakes you made. But you're only making that mistake once. Now, if you backtest and you make that mistake multiple times, and then you learn from it, and you make that mistake, like, let's say 5 times, well, making that mistake 5 times in one day compared to making it 5 times over the span of 5 days, well, you're going to learn a lot faster by backtesting. And, well, that's kind of the whole point of it, is to make your trading exponentially better, because the more trades you take, the more experience in the market you have, and the better you are at trading. So, if you did catch this move today, congrats. It was pretty good trading day today. Not gonna lie. I am gonna hop on a PM session because I want to see how PM session looks. But I do know FOMC. There's news meeting at 2, I think. Yeah, there's FOMC meeting minutes at 2. So I am going to be careful because macro's at like 150. So probably not going to trade PM session. I will hop on. I will see what's going up. But if you did watch all the way to this point in the video, thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button, completely free. 100% helps me out. Like, you guys don't even understand. But thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. So peace out. Bye.